Hello everyone, and welcome to today's session on workplace relationships and delegation. Today, we will explore how managers can build effective relationships at work and how they can delegate tasks successfully. This is a critical area for anyone in a leadership position. So let's dive in. To begin, let's understand the core responsibility of a manager. While managers do perform tasks themselves, their primary role is to ensure that others carry out their responsibilities to achieve business goals and objectives. Effective managers need to understand what duties to assign in order to give themselves time to plan, communicate with others in the organization, and evaluate their workers' performance, thereby ensuring proper feedback and growth opportunities. Many managers may believe they are delegating when they assign a task to staff, but sometimes they are just offloading work without setting expectations or providing authority. Proper delegation goes deeper. It involves allocating responsibility for achieving outcomes and giving the employee the power to make decisions required to meet those outcomes. When you delegate properly, you're empowering someone to act, not just telling them what to do. So, why is successful delegation important? First, learning how to delegate is key to maximizing your value and doubling your worth to your organization. Second, delegation enables you to shift your focus from what you can accomplish individually to what you can manage. So, what exactly do we mean by delegate? Delegation is the act of delegating responsibility for a specific task or project to another person. This is a prevalent practice among effective entrepreneurs, business owners, and managers who effectively delegate routine, time-consuming tasks to lower-level employees or contractors. Remember that delegation is not about giving away work you don't want to do. It's about strategically reallocating responsibilities so you can focus on more essential activities that require your full attention. A key and successful management talent is delegation, one of the most significant and effective management abilities. The capacity to delegate successfully is essential for career advancement and organizational growth. Successful delegation helps managers climb to greater levels of responsibility and authority as they learn to rely on their teams while focusing on broader objectives. Delegation is not a random act, it must be deliberate and strategic. There are 7 key practices to ensure that the right tasks are assigned to the right individuals, including selecting the most appropriate person, matching jobs needs to a person's ability, delegating effectively, delegating lesser responsibilities to less experienced employees, delegating the entire job, delegating clear outcomes, and finally, delegating with participation and discussion. These practices will help reduce the risk of failure and promote higher team performance. Let's start by selecting the most appropriate person. Be careful and avoid assigning critical tasks to someone who lacks the required skills or experience. A poor choice can lead to mistakes, delays, or failure to achieve desired outcomes. Always remember to match the task with the individual's strengths. The next step is to ensure that the person's abilities match the demands of the task. You need to ensure that the individual to whom you allocate the duty can carry out the assignment. If someone is unfamiliar with a tool or process, they may struggle to deliver results. Understanding the demands of the task and the person's ability helps prevent performance gaps. Once you've made that match, it's time to delegate effectively. Effective delegation frees up your time to focus on more meaningful endeavors. The bigger the number of vital jobs that you can educate and delegate to others, the more time you will have to devote to the duties that only you are capable of performing. This is the core of operational efficiency. At the same time, we should delegate lesser responsibilities to less experienced employees. This gives them the opportunity to gain confidence, learn new skills, and prove their capabilities. It's a stepping stone toward greater responsibilities. Whenever possible, delegate the entire job rather than just fragments of it. This will foster accountability and ownership, because the ability to take complete responsibility can motivate performance. The more frequently you delegate duties to the appropriate individuals, the more efficient they become. In addition to full ownership, it's crucial that outcomes are clear and measurable. To manage effectively, tasks must be observable and quantifiable. Moreover, clear outcomes mean providing an explanation of what needs to be done, how you believe it should be completed, and the reasons for taking on this particular project in the first place. This clarity eliminates confusion and sets your team up for success. Lastly, Engaging your team in participation and discussion during delegation is equally important. You need to invite questions and be receptive to suggestions. There is a clear connection between the amount of time individuals are given to talk about their jobs and the extent to which they comprehend, accept, and become dedicated to those positions. Therefore, you must delegate so that individuals feel they have taken ownership of their job when they leave. However, despite these strategies, some managers are still reluctant to delegate. There are several reasonable reasons for not delegating responsibilities. In the case of an understaffed organization, or if managers do not have anybody reporting to them, it is evident that delegating tasks will be extremely challenging. On the other hand, the majority of such arguments do not hold up under scrutiny. Therefore, in many cases, managers must delegate since they are not expected to do all of the jobs alone. Managers can't do everything themselves. To achieve the goals, managers need to work collaboratively with other managers, including sharing resources, insights, and support. This inter-manager cooperation helps align team efforts and drive success. Second, managers must anticipate and plan for changes. These can include shifts in economic conditions, competitive forces, and other variables. Staying alert and adaptive is essential to staying ahead. And finally, regular communication with other supervisors is crucial. Through open dialogue, managers can optimize operations, identify inefficiencies, and develop more effective strategies. It's about looking beyond your own team and thinking strategically at the organizational level. Aside from that, managers must commit time to their growth, which includes training and being abreast of technological and other important advancements to their business and organization. When it comes to training their staff, managers have a responsibility to ensure that staff are effectively trained, to identify future leaders, and to prepare their successors for advancement within the organization or to other organizations. In addition, delegating responsibility sends a strong message to employees about how much their employer trusts them, as well as how skilled and valuable they are perceived to be to the organization. Now that we understand the importance of delegation, let's go over a practical tool you can use to prepare effectively, the Delegator's Dozen. These 12 steps act as your go-to checklist to ensure you delegate in a way that's thoughtful, empowering, and results-driven. Let's walk through each step together. Moving to step 1, maintain an attitude of delegation. Keep asking yourself regularly, who else could accomplish this? Every task should be questioned. Make delegation a natural part of your thinking. This helps you see tasks as opportunities for team development. In step 2, you need to specify desired outcomes. What is the outcome I wish to achieve? Learn to delegate responsibilities for attaining outcomes rather than just offloading duties onto somebody else. This helps everyone stay aligned and focused on success. The next step is to choose the right person to work with. When deciding who to delegate something to, consider more than one factor. Here are some things to think about, including who has the necessary experience and abilities. Remember to kindly consider not to overburden this individual. Then, let's consider who has to be taught how to deal with this responsibility. Who has the time to take on such a monumental responsibility? And finally, who wouldn't want to be given this opportunity to learn something new? Don't just go with the most available person. Try to choose someone who can learn or who will benefit from the opportunity. Moving on, step 4 involves collaborating with others to get their thoughts. Inquire about suggestions for what should be changed, who should be involved, and how the outcomes should be defined. You might also consult with the team and other managers who interact with the team, with supervisors, and customers. Then you may discover insights that improve how the work is achieved. Now, let's move to step 5, assign responsibilities and establish timelines for completion. Consider 2 questions, including what is the deadline for submission and when do you expect to get progress reports. Try to set milestones and agree on these deadlines. This clarity will help ensure accountability. Once you've assigned a task, it's important to consider whether the individual needs any specific training or support before starting. Ask yourself, is it necessary for the individual to receive training before taking on this responsibility? And what kind of support will they require to be successful? While offering guidance, you should allow the individual the space to think for themselves and make decisions within the scope of the responsibility given to encourage independence and build their confidence and decision-making skills. Continuing to Step 7, specify the degree of power to be used. Let the employee know, what kind of power will they require? What sorts of power are we talking about? Who else needs to be aware that this individual has the power to take action? This clear communication will help prevent misunderstandings, thereby ensuring collaboration with the employee. Then, everyone involved must agree on the control procedure. They must be clear on how progress will be tracked and reported. Ask yourself, what types of safeguards are required here? How can one maintain a sense of control while empowering people to act on their initiative? Establishing these shared procedures will ensure accountability while also building trust and ownership. As we move to Step 9, monitor progress. This is about more than just checking in occasionally. It's about keeping track of how things are developing over time. As a manager, you must take control of the situation by paying close attention to the details. Even though you have delegated the responsibility, you are still held accountable for both the success or failure of the individual and the outcomes they deliver. This means staying informed, being available for support. Effective monitoring ensures that goals are achieved while maintaining the integrity of the delegation process. Moving forward to Step 10, share your feedback and provide coaching. Once a task is completed, it's important to continue communicating with your team members. Don't just check on results. Instead, try to engage in meaningful feedback. Moreover, provide positive encouragement and provide coaching as needed. Ongoing communication shows that you care about their progress and are invested in their development. Next, you must identify the lessons that have been learned. After the task is completed, take time to reflect on the experience with the employee. What did the employee take away from the experience? And what did you, as a manager, learn from it? Often, the individual who has taken on the additional job may discover better or more efficient ways to do the tasks at hand. These improvements are valuable and they should be discovered, documented, and communicated across the team. Capturing these lessons not only improves future performance, but also contributes to a culture of continuous learning. Finally, evaluate one's performance. Once the task is complete and lessons have been identified, it's essential to provide the individual with constructive feedback that will assist them in improving. Reflect on the following questions, such as, what did they do particularly well? What areas do they need to improve on? What can be done to make the outcomes even better? What can the manager do to improve their ability to assist them in achieving success? This step is not about criticism. It's about supporting growth, building capability, and enhancing future performance through reflection and mutual feedback. The next step, once managers have decided to delegate specific duties, is to communicate with the individual or persons who will be in charge of the newly allocated responsibility. An effective communication process is outlined in the following 4 steps, including meeting face-to-face without time pressure, verifying employees' understanding and commitment, defining employees' authority level, and following up and provide training and guidance if needed. Let's move on to the first step, meeting face-to-face without time pressure. Because this is a very significant conversation, one of the most effective methods of conveying the idea that this topic is essential is through face-to-face engagement. Make sure the environment is free from distractions and that you won't be interrupted during the discussion. Moreover, take time to explain why the individual was chosen for the assignment and what results are expected to be attained. Remember, you are responsible for achieving results rather than simply doing duties. In addition, encourage people to ask questions and share their thoughts. This should be a two-way conversation, not a monologue. By the end of the meeting, you should both be clear on the timing, expectations, and agreed control procedures moving forward. Next, you should verify employees' understanding and commitment. A major source of failure in delegation meetings is the lack of effective communication with the other delegation members. It's not enough to assume someone understands the task. As a manager, you must ensure that people to whom you have delegated responsibility have grasped the information you want by asking them to repeat what has been stated. Instead of asking, Do you understand? Which often leads to vague or inaccurate responses like yes or I think so. Ask the individual to summarize what they understood. Remember not to give employees the impression that you are testing them. This phrasing makes the conversation collaborative rather than evaluative. For example, say, I want to make sure that I have conveyed what I wanted to communicate, or please let me know what you have observed so far. While this implies that you want to double-check that you have communicated effectively, it does not imply anything bad about the other person's listening skills. Now let's move to step 3 in the communication process. Define the employee's authority level. Ask yourself, what type of authority would the individual require to achieve the desired results? Once that's clear, notify everyone who needs to be aware that you have assigned this task to guarantee that they will cooperate with the employee. This ensures that they receive the cooperation and respect they need to perform their responsibilities effectively. Finally, let's discuss the 4th step, follow up and provide training and guidance if needed. Delegating does not mean abandoning your responsibilities. You are still accountable, so don't leave the person on their own. Make yourself available to answer queries and help resolve any obstacles or resistance they may encounter. It's also important to maintain a respectful distance from individuals to someone you have given authority. Offer constructive comments to support what has been done effectively and to assist them in learning when they make mistakes or meet challenges that need further study and research. Also, make a note of the checkpoint dates and any updates on progress in your calendar. This keeps both you and the delegate focused, aligned, and engaged throughout the process. In conclusion, delegation is more than just handing out tasks. It's a leadership skill that builds trust, supports team development, and helps achieve business goals. By applying the strategies we've discussed today, especially the delegator's dozen, you can delegate with confidence and clarity. Thank you for joining today's session. I hope you find these insights useful in your professional journey.